How's it going, everybody? My name is Artanis, and welcome to Would You Rather. Would you rather jump off a two-story roof, or take a sandwich tackle from 3 rugby players? Now, as bad as it might sound, a two-story roof really isn't that bad to jump off of, especially if you know how to land correctly in the worst-case scenarios as you walk around limping a little bit because you landed on your knees incorrectly. A sandwich tackle from 3 rugby players. Now, rugby does not wear all the nice armor that football does, not all the pads and everything, so getting hit by that would hurt. Especially, like, from 3 of them getting sandwich tackled, like, that could break some bones and stuff, so I would rather jump off a 2-story roof. Apparently, not many people have much roof jumping experience, not that I have a lot of experience either. Anyway, next question. Would you rather be unable to open doors unassisted, or be unable to climb stairs unassisted? Well, the nice thing about not being able to climb stairs is there's all sorts of elevators and handicap accessible areas, and there are handicap accessible doors, but not as many. And that would be very inconvenient having to rely on someone all the time, especially if you have, doors in your house that you, like, shut on a regular basis, or you're out in public and you're like, oh, excuse me, sir, could you please open the door for me? Especially if you didn't have a reason. Like, if you said, oh, well, my arms look fine and they work fine for everything else, but I just can't open doors, like, that would be hard to explain. But saying, oh, I can't climb stairs, you could just say, oh, I've got a bad knee injury, so I have to take ramps and things like that. Though there is something down here that says, escalators do not count as stairs. Okay. As a gentleman, would you rather paint your nails or wear high heels? Now, they didn't say anything about clear nail polish, and there are a few gentlemen out there who have to paint their nails because of medical conditions. Not only that, but a lot of guys paint their nails. It's not that big a deal. Wearing high heels, on the other hand, unless you mean, like, if my boot that has like an 1.5-inch heel counts as high heels, that'd be fantastic. But other than that, I'd rather paint my nails, thanks. When you walk into a room, would you rather have everybody stare awkwardly, or have everyone look away in disgust? Now, is there a reason why they look away in disgust? Is it because I'm hideous and smell terrible? Or is it just be passive? Like, everybody stare awkwardly? How long are they gonna stare? Like, for the entire length of me being in the room? Is this gonna be like that Markiplier video, the dancing one? Or have everyone look away in disgust? Like, that'd be easier to deal with. And you would get used to either pretty quickly, but I don't know. I would say I'd rather have everyone look away in disgust. Yeah, everyone would rather have them stare awkwardly. Like, that means they're watching everything you do. I'm not a big fan of people watching every single thing I do. Would you rather be a prince/princess or be a mermaid/man? Now, the thing about that is, when they say a prince, do they mean like a modern day prince, like Prince Henry or whatever? Or do they mean like a medieval prince, which had a little bit more power, I suppose? Not to say that the current prince doesn't have a lot of power, but back then, the prince could do pretty much anything they want. Nowadays, not so much. Being a mermaid, or a merman in this case, I mean, does it mean I could never walk on land again, or am I the type of merman that has legs but can swim really fast? I mean, there's depictions of both, but I'm going to assume they mean the kind that has a tail, since they said mermaid. I mean, I would rather be a merman, if I have to be completely honest, but the problem with that is I wouldn't really be able to do much with everyday society. So I'm gonna say I'd rather be a prince, because then I could still do YouTube and I could still do the things that bring me a lot of joy. And underwater computers and underwater recording software, isn't that great? What would my YouTube recordings be like? That'd be every video? Nah, I think I'll pass. Would you rather watch the sad SPCA commercial over and over again, or watch bad workout infomercials over and over again? These are both hell. My god. okay, the SPCA, they have a really good, like, they have a good point of existing. I'm very glad that they exist, but they rely too much on being really depressing with their commercials to get people to pay money, and I wouldn't mind that, except their commercials are like freaking 5 minutes long. And that's not okay. If it was a short little bit, like, look at all these animals being abused. Donate money. Like, yeah, I feel sad about that. I have a dog, I have a cat, I even have a turtle, you know? I genuinely sympathize. But when you draw your commercials out for 5 freaking minutes, I suddenly lose my pity a little bit. Whereas bad workout infomercials over and over again. Does that mean that's my existence from this point on? Just I sit and watch nothing but bad workout infomercials or SPCA commercials? Because, like, the SPCA commercials, I would probably go insane. Bad workout infomercials, you know, I'd laugh a little bit, facepalm a little bit, and maybe get fit because I'd start working out. I don't know. I'd say I'd go ahead and watch bad workout infomercials. I'm a martial artist, so I like staying fit anyway. Yeah. Anyway, would you rather live in Tokyo or live in Hong Kong? I would rather live in Tokyo. I much prefer Tokyo. Wow, Hong Kong. Getting the short end of the stick. Not many people would like Hong Kong, apparently. That's unfortunate. Oh god, would you rather bathe in vomit or bathe in worms? I mean, both of these are pretty disgusting. But, like, what kind of worms are we talking? Are we talking earthworms or are we talking tapeworms? Are we talking, you know, some kind of parasitic worm that burrows into my skin? Like, it's kind of vague here. Bathe and vomit, like, there's a lot of... You could get some diseases from that. Now, is this a short bath? Is this like, I get in for 5 seconds, and I'm out? Or is this like a 20-minute bath? I would say... Well... There's a comment down here that says, but the worms might go inside. Yeah, that's an issue, but I don't think that's much of an issue. I'm gonna go with bathing worms. Bathing in vomit, ugh. Would you rather eat only human remains for the rest of your life or starve to death? So it's literally a, would you rather eat nothing but humans because that's all you have access to, or would you rather die? You would have to cut them up and cook them yourself each time. Ooh. You know what? I think I'd rather starve to death. Personally. Would you rather play Beirut? I don't know that name, but beer pong. Would you rather play beer pong or play flip cup? I mean, I don't know really what flip cup is, to be completely honest. I know what beer pong is, so I'm gonna go with beer pong. And besides, beer pong can be pretty fun. Would you rather have nipples that constantly change colors like disco lights, or have nipples that look like diamonds? I think I'd rather go with the disco. Well, the problem with that is if I put my shirt on and my nipples are still flashing, I guess you'd be able to see that through the shirt. But nipples that look like diamonds, that just makes me look like a rich douchebag. But I could also choose not to take my shirt off. The flip side of that is it would probably poke through the shirt because they're made of diamond. This one seems less inconvenient. Would you rather have a tapeworm that eventually kills you, or have AIDS? Now, why would this tapeworm kill me? Because it's immune to medical procedures? I could just eat a lot of garlic, and boom, problem solved. Or have AIDS. Ugh. These are both not very good. AIDS you can live with, as far as I know. It just causes inconvenience. This one says you will die. That there is no way out. Whereas AIDS, you know, we're making progress on that. It might even be curable for all I know. I haven't really kept up on the AIDS research history and all that, so I'd say I'd rather have AIDS, because that way I don't at least... Wow, 50-50. That is really close. Would you rather only use a Mac or only use a Windows PC. Can I pass? Is passing an option? Could I, can I have a Linux PC? I would rather use a Linux PC, but given these two options, I would rather use Windows PC. I'm using Windows right now. Why? Because Windows is pretty much the only solid operating system that does video games, and Linux is getting there. And I hope Linux gets there soon, but until then, Windows PC. And I just don't like Macs. I don't like Apple products in general. Would you rather get high or get drunk? Now I've never been high, unless you mean like high on life or high off of some medical drugs after medical procedures. I've been those. Get drunk? How drunk are we getting? Are we getting drunk? Or are we getting smashed where we get up the next morning and hurl our everything out? Now I'm going to assume they probably mean marijuana high, or high off of some drug. Not that marijuana should be put in the same class as like cocaine or whatever, but you get my point. Illegal drugs, shall we say? Which means that if I get caught, I could go to jail. The flip side to that is I, stay home from work. That's pretty much it. I mean, I might not even get that drunk. I might be just perfectly fine, so I'm gonna say get drunk. Wow, okay. I'm looking at this from a purely I don't want to go to jail standpoint. Or I don't want to have something on my record for the rest of my life standpoint. So, I'm gonna go with getting drunk. Not that I do either on a regular basis, where I already said I didn't get high, but I don't get drunk on a regular basis either. I say on a regular basis, I don't get high. Alright, just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I would just rather stay away from illegalities. If you could, would you rather end world hunger or find a cure for cancer? Oh, man. If I had a way to cure world hunger, that would be fantastic. And finding a cure for cancer would also be amazing. But our cancer research is coming along, and we can already fight a lot of cancers pretty efficiently. It's still a terrible thing, and I would really like to find a cure for cancer. On the other hand, if I could end world hunger tomorrow, we could just, for all I know, these people, some of the people that I would be saving from world hunger would then be able to contribute to the research for cancer. And so many people die every single day of starvation versus people who die of cancer. I mean, there's a lot of those too. But I'm gonna have to say end world hunger. Yes, cancer is terrible. But I'd have to say that world hunger is more people in the grand scheme of things, so. Your company gives you two choices for vacation. Would you rather vacation in China or vacation in Russia? I would rather vacation in Russia, thank you. Not that there's anything wrong with China, I just prefer Russia. And, I can actually understand a little bit more Russian than I can Mandarin or Cantonese, so. Would you rather smile when bad things happen or frown when good things happen? I'd rather smile when bad things happen, because if I'm smiling when a bad thing happens, then I can assume that means that there's something positive. You know what they say, that there's always something positive in every single situation. I would say that when I smile, there's something good that can be taken out of it. And if anybody asks me about it, I can just say that, I don't know, I take something good out of it. The flip side, frown when good things happen, you're just known as the person who's always unhappy, the person who's always kind of a little bitch, the person who's too serious, and that's a problem I do have. I do have a tendency of always frowning. I think I would rather smile when bad things happen. If you were trapped in a cage, would you rather be trapped with a tame tiger or be trapped with a rabid squirrel? Now, here's the flip side to that. A tame tiger, well, you can't really say there's such a thing as a completely tamed tiger. A tiger will always be a little bit feral, but they can also be very nice. My mother worked with tigers and panthers and all sorts of big cats for many years, and she's been in cages with them. And there's, there was a tiger that used to love on her, that really liked her. Being trapped with a rabid squirrel, you could always say, well, I'm gonna grab the squirrel and kill it. That shouldn't be too hard. Or you can just scare it off. You're a lot bigger, just go, "Argh!" and, scare it off or whatever. The flip side of that is you're probably gonna get scratched and cut by the rabid squirrel and possibly infected, if it has rabies or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Trapped at the tame tiger, if the tiger likes me, that'd be fantastic, so I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, 77%. Would you rather always be overdressed or always be underdressed? Would you rather be known as the guy who's kind of pompous because he's always overdressed for every occasion? Or would you rather be known as the person that's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say poor, because just because you're poor doesn't necessarily mean you're underdressed, but let's say that you're in the same economic situation. If you go to a party and you're overdressed versus you go to a party and you're underdressed, if this is like a semi-formal party where you're expected to wear like a shirt and a tie or a jacket and dress pants and dress shoes, but you turn up in freaking boxer shorts and flip-flops or whatever, I'd rather be overdressed. By far. People wouldn't hate me. Not only that, but I like dressing up. Dressing up is fun. Would you rather be unable to open doors unassisted, or I already did this question. In any given situation, would you rather be the first to die or the last to die? Any given situation. So we're talking stranded on an island, in a plane crash, on a car crash, you walk into Walmart. Any situation. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that wording. Any situation feels like, oh, you walked into your living room. You're going to be the first to die. Well, what if you're 20 or 30 or 40 and everybody else in that room is 80 or 100? That's not a very good scenario. Or worse, you're 80 and you walk into a room with a bunch of 40-year-olds. I think I'd rather be the last to die. Looking at it from another situation, if I'm stranded on an island, if I'm the first to die, I can't help other people, but if I am the last to die, I can do everything I can to save them. And that's not to say that while we're on that island, we all die. That just might mean that I'm on an island, I managed to help get everyone out, and then I die 40 years later, peacefully on my bed. That's what I'm gonna go with. That's my logic. Would you rather go 1 year without your teeth or 1 year without the internet? Oh, 1 year without my teeth, and then like 365 days later, they're like, hey, here are your teeth back. Let's see, it says no dentures allowed and anything involving the internet is off limits. Think life in the 1980s, people, but just for you. Now, 1 year without internet wouldn't necessarily be such a bad thing. I could go to, say, as a martial artist, I could go to another country, or even stay in my own country, and just devote my life to nothing but training for 1 year straight. Or, go 1 year without your teeth. That's not too big of an inconvenience. You could just, drink all of your food, or eat nothing but soup, things like that. So it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. Either way, in my opinion, 1 year without the internet would suck. But I could devote my entire year to nothing but training and become the best martial artist I could without all these distractions. So I would say go a year without the internet. Alright, well, 55% of people agree with me. Interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this episode here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to do another episode of this at some point soon, because this is actually fun. I've never really played Would You Rather, other than just sitting along with some friends and spouting out some nonsense. So I hope you guys have had a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.